Well, yasaba ya to edwuma die no so anse no nkono pepepe ye pagya mu wan say yemfa aseda sonko ema eye enyumeku one other woman asankom we dey bro St Andrews College of Healthcare wono aka wona oy boy asem nyina ne say ene wonya ntete mfie mienu won nurse ye edwuma nim na chese onso atima ba bonten na wabesum oh my god na wasono opotem so kama won sawo College of Remedial School, and as what on social now I seen to Abemno. Now, no man uncle taught him. Ubetimi abetro, honum chair of deck in social no honum, or more hostel. I only disage Macassi way. And where you want to come at any was Sesha Samuel Sumancasi, Massin Fusu, Macher St. Andrews College of Remedial School. For one was 0244696911 and 0207891004. No etimini one etimedi enkita ho bio CD ointment and CD capsules my body natural but bribia there say because kayo the NTSS otimidi di djuma kwanso nkoso ointment in there ya ne say eboa na wapo no wapo so ayo ya na afi ohunam duan so ayo hodwe tutu no so no eyi sa ha no afio no capsules in there ne say was an immune booster mo ahoden so nkoko abetimidi di djuma for the day one ti day ewo Lashibi Shalom Sport, 19 Junction. The mode when it's your Kaishi Druglin, Equus Pharmacy, Gapson Pharmacy, Kofodia, Danny Herbal, Kumasi, Ashtown, Anafi, Pharmacy, in the drugstore, the herbal shops, I will do in also, Unyebi, El Honum. The crack across your hometown engine, Sinabe Joshua, and Eldwelly Church, 6 Stars Pharmacy. One is Municipal Assembly, Eshenim. Or from 02003429888 and 02061 06799 na watimi ne wona kasa dwumadi a wono di ni se one day hometown agency abadwa so said ye be ya ene cancer yade ahodo bebrebe ni nyina no obetimi di kasi ano kwan kransa na yade eni enye papa yetima be di unya eno achi so no you improve your blood sugar levels na fi o function of the lungs no lungs no hometown agency so be bo kwanso nkoso the crack na say boost your immune system. Enti sa enyumeko we one other rama and a Monday to Friday yade Mpensenpensenmu segment no yade bro. Anthony Nukpenu atenase he needs no introduction. Anthony Nukpenu de e kan na say we so tia say oko NDC mo Greater Accra hanim say ya ono eka mpanyfo a ono som party no e Greater Accra and they do about to ne nkrabata ne tre we want to copy or mimi krum afu minim dio no Greater Accra ni no oye o mimi krum afu but the baka copy or because Eriko Poku honorable and a Collins down that ho na for sa pekras obi rush bim ahwe so betima GGB so akaka ho nti o ha he be din komo and what is menu on komo etedi ba ha de bia on tv kan sa waroti sa pepe so da hwe nim say alote Jacob so ba beka yensa. But quick one, afuna ya chiamo, ahimani ahimfamo afuna, anapo ya chiamo, yamfo in totroso, omina afo ni Kenya se 1 and 2, bechemni dia ya nkwanta, munina ya chiamo kwanso nkoso. Sanso ne ya kai se monkosuma impuntu ni odo, eni je ni awakasoro nkokra, enkan nyina emom, ne entai George Boachi. Regional Minister for Fraud afoni entire chi okwanso nkoso na nkunimdi ntimi nye dia enti Regional Minister so wa afo Era George Boachi onso amu akwaba no ese odi dwuma ese fata na otimi di nkabom ni mpuntu ne kanko titru sankore basabasa ya tsisi honum no wo hwe na ka ho asem ma bibia timi to boko na odi mpuntu ba ahafo ene ahafo emmantem na afọ manso yenti asese yede kroye ebetimi apiem akọ enkan nti mehima ba akọpẹ edutwumu amosa anapai good morning to you quickly be fra afọ dia member na membeda a nurse for nso mo kolebu Charles Children's Department menda wona say teacher is it Mama Dorothy only penye ahọ yes if I got it right mo so mo bom homodin in the midst of all the challenges mo bom homodin plaster home komo, gloves home komo, to mention a few challenges I don't know more come through, but Nina no mojina brand say mo kwama mofra say one ye dim titiri for one apom de won sem no e betimi akon kan nti anopai wa wo hwe bia no wo tom krama kolebu CEO na ene board mpemfo wo se omfo mo ni nkyere kwada ya resabia on children's department on no na ommo adwumayefo a wono ho no so wono mbo na baso in the midst of challenges the edikan some of the observations then kolebu nankasa the makacho that I say kolebu nankasa here a total overhaul, not in terms of personalities, but in terms of structure. No, painting, the cracks, be a wall, honey defects, be no. Kolebu, as I saw much one among we outside now, inside national, our home team, baby, I Jones so, ne baby, sebi, nature's call, ne son, money in a ye digimo no, and also ask a film. And Kola water the enka should be something nice and refreshing, but it will be the who on anodano is really not refreshing at all. Here. And my yard no crowd, we had the no and also home 70 me quay bibia a wohonum. I feel so ya da yan kai mo fra no mpai bom if say enye easy mo fra do na de yakohu na no me that way through asafo am we apostolic empowerment ministry also praying salasia da na da no makohu children's department to kolebu no e chese onyame ne ye mu bia di ni yi ti yan kai ye mane na no so a woni gu ye kolebu children's department say in cash, in kind, in prayer. Omo here bibia ni ho isama omo. Bibia they will be okay with it. Say sika okutua no yi awofo ni bi ni omo ma every hospital or say aduane a wode kosom omo. Say sika wode ko boa so omo fa nye upkeep wonom no. Ni nyina no wono ebeda waso okwanso nkozukwa. Wo ho a brano as an individual say okosa sa mia ni bi. Wode woni kire mortuary na do woni kire hospital na do woni kire resabia odo. Now, Coco and Quenchia, baby, a motor, dear Dini Peru, and then you begin to understand, say, a casi a co abasisia, that's what me coba. It continues not to be a joke. A dome, any homobroson could be a radede afemo. That's the story. But yes, Shas, if you're in church, the hospitals, no, because what I have seen at Kolebu is so horrible and terrible. And why, you know, say, Kwadakra ward near. And I'm paying for the and also want some the bear at the for cry. Look on a cover. Looking good always, but in opposition.
Oba de na dum na humobro. Enu na di eko. Di eba.
E timi ko ya amamu papa bi outim. What's it?
Oh man hini. Ka go na sante. O amakai
Ametokwa
na foi.
Yeah.
No obon asre.
Ya koya ni
papa bi.
E dey timi ko ya ba it so ya dum.
Oh. Nyame ene di kan.
All right.
Abano but oye de obetimi aye, but enso eni.
Okay.
Enso eni.
Okay.
Obetimi aye senior gidi agana fo nya omumu na ni omuko idie. Enso eni.
When was the last time I went to hospital be just to either say ukoshe dophobia and
at least a few we mu die. I've not passed any hospital. As it is I used to go to Tema General Hospital.
Tema General Hospital. As of that time, no matter saying.
Tema General is one of the most terrible general hospitals I know.
Tema General Hospital.
The most terrible general hospital. This is a hospital I ultimately call emergency. Within a twinkle of an eye, one county lifeless bodies on stretcher now, any about 5, and sometimes I am shishie. 2-3 years ago. I lost a loved one there, and at the time I didn't call her before I did betching. Like we try we akata no say the call, and at the point me say, is it a real emergency, or is just a place you didn't papa so and I say him we call labor ward. You can't imagine. Mothers and children just on the floor. I think for now we see new one, and that has improved. So I was not a man who was the last time. My penny both them say you see new one, but from now born up to today, there is no action.
That's it.
We now call an action be any baby.
But what we say we have a challenge with our health sector.
and a major challenge because from here enclave, no, we meet Michelle Camp. The General is the only referral center here, and maybe say a referral to General Hospital. People decide to even go home, to die home than to go and die.
So what General Hospital?
Say a private hospital be referral so called General Hospital. Nani pano oniko mamua. Obakache na nebusi for say mo fami ko fi mu because kasa about General Hospital e was tema. Enya dia e ayem hihie. A terrible situation and ye hwe nim say a fem na ya born will come to life so that it will be my nyina ehu a certain relief in our medics within that enclave. And yes, sir, because we back Bunkataman so you need any proper health facility. Ashama, okay, nya polyclinic, no part of the 15 polyclinics are John Dramani Mahama approved and started in Tiabahono. Ufri Hoana could do Ningo Pram Pram. They are only operating on health centers.
Ningo Pram Pram.
Then Dodo and Obekobinya main hospital. I get it. But Ushe Ashama, Michelle Camp, like Munkataman so the closest is Tema. So we need a regional hospital even. A hospital that a bit to say rich. And this always call the new maritime hospital, one of the state of the art. But a honum no. Yeah. Yes. My port clinic. So we need that government regional state of the art facility, a Bema health delivery, Beye Inikan, or that enclave.
Okay, so Mr. Jacobs, you are no more a chairman because you are not part of that party that made you a chairman. I address you as such, Mr. Lotte Jacobs.
Mr. Tony, an organizer is always an organizer.
No, it's not true. When you get out from
no. Nenda who program it will be like Alote versus the NDC.
No, that is not your position.
No, I thought Tuesdays are for Ghana first.
But we're missing a flight, you know.
We're missing a flight in Afa Nupenu on Waka. And I'm a counter. Nupenu is a great friend of mine. Oh, he's very, very, very close friends. But
amongst the
pitching me against my friend.
But amongst the NDC, because I said Mohamud to me, I said, even when you were there, now Mohamud disagreed to agree. So it is
not in public. Like this, people will say.
But just recently, there was a disagreement on the Kosi saying, Anita the social chief Bani. So what is the big deal?
Oh, the
Ni ufite osa.
Ablovo manje.
So in Central Region, how the Efia one and
Efia is in Western.
So Central Region is what hospital?
Central Region we have Interbetin. That is the regional. It is Cape Coast Teaching Hospital.
Yeah.
We have in Cape Coast we have a lot of clinics, health centers.
Trauma center.
Let me say that Cape Coast is well catered for. When you go to Mfantsiman, you have Sopon Hospital. You have Anmabo Health Center.
Is it just the hospital or is it just the real hospital?
Oh no, they are well equipped. As for Central Region, from time immemorial, and the successive governments have helped in ensuring and the Catholics too are very much involved. You go to Iskuma, the biggest hospital there is Catholic. You go to Fosu, the biggest hospital there is Catholic. And
but there's a problem with your health sector.
Well, if there's a problem, then it is the human factor, but not the facilities at the various.
For instance, in Koko, there's a complaint that in Koko Government Hospital is west. Sunyani Government Hospital is west.
Enyama, what's a Ghana hand? Isu Oshe Yenmun. Oshe the abandonment once you are Nazi. But the human the management are all one. They can factor a whole lot of things out. About hospital. But they won't do it because of our management. You see, we are doing ourselves. What is it? We neglect a lot of things. But that's because your generation coming in, or they also need that kind of services. And if you are not able to protect equipment, if you don't steal drugs, if you don't present expired drugs, if doctors, I don't think these days we are seeing our doctors being patriotic. But if a doctor should run away from his responsibility, say doctor near there, because he is a specialist, he will make money out of his specialization. Then how do we run our health as a sector? That's the issue.
So in this case, the way out near then?
The way out in there, we all should be patriotic. We all should be patriotic. We all should endeavor ourselves to make sure that when a patient is brought into the hospital by an ambulance or by some persons, we quickly go into that person's aid. Even the end product of it in there, it is enough. It is enough gratitude.
All right. Quickly, just those here, some of these commentaries over the weekend, and this Kasoa issue, it keeps coming up. Kasoa, what's wrong with Kasoa? Is it that Kasoa, a state on its own? And what really is the problem there? They needed attention to Kasoa and the challenges that keeps popping up from Kasoa. And this is 1 out of 1 million. Until we shouldn't just lump it up and say it's a minor, a ginseng, and all these schools of thoughts. Maybe Baba on this Kasoa matter. What really is the challenge?
My name is Ashefo pay. Ne wankasa ni me bra penyi ana me papa. Because me ni ba Bernard Junior. Etina class. Nti Cape Coast Poly.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. No, me me too.
Oh, nice one.
Electrical engineering. Yeah.
I see.
And the Kasoa issue, no. I grew close to Ashama. So I knew how Ashama was. Now, Emra, disengage Ashama from all manner of activities. No? Most of those hardened criminals who fled found themselves within that enclave. Kasoa Bujumbura, and that time, so the Liberians in the bay. And I believe, sir, the setting up of that whole enclave, no, they didn't come about with the social infrastructure, said to me, making sure, say, discipline about our society. No? So all manner of Nkrofo grow up. And also, social setting, no, the way I say, in certain environment, in TTA and Korani frame. Then, and then the emergence of social media, Nyankorehu or social media, and other things. No, among Koranufo say it is rosy to have some things in life because then the man 17, 18 years, Benya Adwin say, meanful be cry and compare a Japadie. What is informing that child? Then or share, then environment not what is he or she listening to? And I've always had problem with NMC.
National Media Commission.
On the kind of things I hear on some TV stations from 10 p.m. in the night. These malams and other things, charming. And I may be someone who say, regulation, no, at the same. And for me, all these things must come to play. Saying, because I can't share sad, then a ban argument say, waiting to be in multiplication of sika and a ritual be or what when man a year sikeni in no time. Inti we have a stake in this whole thing. Inti how we the environment and then obi ba chiapo na ukokan sometimes na wo for crampo ebufu but environment obi timi tian ema papa kra fo aso and then it's not more like
it's
that.
Not like that
Because there's a certain mindset said there's a certain right of you into sani pano the okano or tia u fa hu die so and you have civil societies who also come at it into utwane to crampo a obetimi akọ police station ma right be na also ohwe no and so be asem deja intermediate. I think government must relook at that enclave. Kasoa, Nyanyano, Budumburam, that whole setting, no? I think the kind of environment that we find there and conducive a better future.
Okay.
We can reorganize it and realign it to make sure say there's a straightforward disciplinary actions. In Kora, the number of public schools say in Yaman Kora Kono and Usiniho. And our phone needs to come in called private schools. Interquano is out of school. Or out of school or environment now. Definitely. When your hoodlums be get to snubby, so there must be a clampdown on some of these things, and I believe it can way get us out of some. Then we can be looking at the other measures.
Okay, Chairman. So, Kasoa, a cause for us to be worried or alarmed or just an isolated one? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Tony has said it all. It is an unplanned area. Nazimpone yenya a lot of road infrastructure. Police football wandoso. It's now become a cosmopolitan. A cosmopolitan. I've forgotten the original name of Kasoa. Makai. Odupongpe. That is the original name for.
I said you say.
Odupong chede krokasi. Oh. Okay. So that's how it is. Now, Kasoa came about because Eruko Sisia on your left side, baby flyover no one. Nankan it used to be baby sabi nyanum nkramofu what on mponjin and one waho. Na with the baby, that came the name Kasoa.
Market.
But as I'm speaking now, the whole of Central Region, Kasoa is the biggest place with the voting population of 100 plus thousand.
160 something
thousand. And the Amiibo, I'm calling for metro. Kasoa should be a metro and not a municipal. And I think that, and I'm confessed to say, how I come so I construct a lot of drains and roads. Na nkramofu bay na yenyu anu aigbefu wo bay. The man if he nkransu wo push bay and the large chunk of traders. Yenyu anu account traders. Okanshi, Agbogbloshi, in other areas.
The clothing business.
They all moved to
Kasoa.
And so on Langat or Shasifi. And the Amavokafa and Gofu from Mali in Niger, Nazi, no, I don't want Langat, no attack. And see, it has developed into a kind of a culture. When people are not around you and you are isolated. That's why I wouldn't say, baby, also on ye number wow fresh. Hey, no, you sample or fresh.
Of course,
That's the life there. But like Tony is saying, Media Commission, Ghana Journalists Association, NCA should be up and doing. There's the need for them to have a roundtable meeting and to discuss about issues Oba Chapel grabo ne TV station grabo obodu no fa na eninsifo abado akonfo abado nde akonfo koku bonsam at Ghana Mail onya wo email wo Instagram wo YouTube ha technology de wa ma eninsifo so nchen kanu na maka de dansoma dansoma your friend Mango Line. The original Dansoma now, if you are getting a pagege, or when you Dansoma, Nazu can go to a champion pegi Dansoma. No man one good see to call Placuna Botiano. Mambo song. The inside one name is Funa as a washisha. And the one you with your harbor town. Ma Baba fear God. At Ghana Gmail. Aye.
First.
This is what we are seeing in Kasoa. But I think that there is a need for local government ministry. They should find a way out. Seriously. I advocated during my time in ECG. Ne, emu Kasoa no you soon. That's so what to meter what Kasoa.
Kasoa.
I'm telling you, meter would you go 3 barrel no water.
Kasoa.
My cousin ECG this year William Barton. We have to go and chase them there. And see, I even recommended there is the need for us to have a box supply point from Biko, and then we also have our substation, so that Kasoa is enlightened. There is a lot that needs to be done in Kasoa, and by promoting Kasoa and Awutu Senya East from a municipality to a metro, it will help.
I see. Finally, on this, what observations during the holidays on COVID?
Well, I think
the road accidents. This weekend, Transport Minister, road safety forum, Umano, and Superintendent Alexander Obin. They patrolled from Accra to Nkoko to Kumasi and back, and then engaged drivers, car owners, pedestrians, and all those things. At certain points, omujina coining no omodidin komo no machi binum so no more advice binum and all those things. Into more observation, more, and then again, observation of the COVID protocols. The only thing I say is me happy was the beaches. Tema Beach, no
Titanic.
It was really under control.
Muaxio. I don't want to feel. Ugo Pakis over to now come crumble as you could feel. Oh, assemblance. Per fresh SOM. Oh.
So these two know depending how they
well, for me, I think so far in Tia Semboni, dear to say past years out, but this Ankaya, Tinyama, I am share. Apart from Korea Mukodi, Assembly, Noabe, Anka, I think the Easter festivity was largely peaceful. One will call convention at the Suno, who said observation of the protocols, sorry, who do protocols, no, and I think you never recommend. Look, we can avert all these things when we are self-disciplined. Yeah, a shankafo no, indiscipline, and a maybe more can so service Yanseni. And also Ghana Highway Authority, their neglect of certain potholes in the median of the road. Obi this video be said name offensive to I think
there's a major pothole there.
And we share a barricade now what a kind of because what an accident point. You got boom boom.
No.
And Ghana Highway Authority, Director General Krumha, or about 70,000 Ghana cedis. These are his works. Road markings, any highway, so reflective where I did see a gadi obia and now free tema eba ashama overfly. We said about 2 years ago, and a big truck be loaded from
a tree thrown.
Ukwa wenu bold and
it's still there. Yeah, it's still there.
Yeah, train say then we will see ministers.
Yeah,
then we make big speeches. Yeah. Why should we do this to ourselves? It is sometimes no policy makers, directors of administration, and some we juma, and then we not got in our office. But these are things. Who from Michelle Camp back Ashama roundabout. Wait me the 1 hour. And yet there is a certain portion. I go back.
Papa.
It will not take even 2,000 cedis to do that work. But it's lying there. And until Obia be slow down. Until because traffic bin and car bin say Obia have to meander through that uneven surface. But people are using that stretch. In as much as you caution drivers, ni motorists, the people who have to implement some of these things, almost one Ghana. Because I don't think it's so bad. Say, look, we politicians, we always receive it because sometimes when you have too many armchair ministers and others who don't check their directors, and also who appoint to be a office not in on change man as on the say or the mail about approve no tiakoda who approve here no what say ejuma no who approve ni akoye. We have a country to build. partisanship, they do election, I bet you. But for now,
the country must move.
The country must move. So I'm urging all the ministers. Sometimes I'm a quarter, and you will want to go and stand somewhere and be making the shout. Pull your directors to go out there, and when you go and they don't recommend for their termination of appointment, whatever it is. Because, sir, I didn't know what offense you am fix here. Because, yes, I didn't know for almost a year now. And a crap, Nipan Kwan, Yashi or Hono, is it not enough for somebody to take an action? How much will it take to fix that? And people are dying every day. Some of the Rams here, so. Yeah.
Out of.
Ufa, Dowenya to Sege. It's not even smooth. It's almost a death trap than telling me, say, I should slow down. All these things, they don't give us the mindset.
But the courage now is that if you can call out of their own way, and mount to Rams are only called.
We're gonna have in our commission some with you. And then Nukrampo Basasano. And who awarded that contract? Specification men on my a can out here, okay, say, why you didn't to specs out pay and out your car. And I believe that they can do more for us on that road than what we are seeing. It's a boy in our basso. Okay. My one day wonder because we are still in motion.
Okay, so Chairman, the description of this country probably in the bear to say now that Greater Accra Regional Minister Wabe will join hands with Lankwantana Madina MC in Mameno. Na and then Omukeni Nipa, Nanipa Prapra Kwemu because of footbridge. Ekunipa Mayama, Ewi in Swa, also so on faso. Oh, the Obe Fakwenima, na prepare the so that's the description. But police for city guards for Jinao. Municipal Chief Executive Nankasa Suhobino, Obia Frofa, is that how we should continue that all the time? Abajina, so is that how we should continue?
That's the Ghanaian mentality. But my means in Gaminjia, Mitela upon material. Okay. Offend Douglas or whatever.
Okay, Douglas.
No, on there. If you're not normal, my means in Gamagada, I'm not surprised to hear that. Minya Kakraba Kweku Ofori Esiama was on the Accra Kumasi road. You know what Kweku for you? Kweku is hard working. Is one of the Nana Gufado, the ministers are Menzi Wanwago. And I'm proud that he's coming from my region. He's very hard working. He should keep it up. Is the Yanti accident, Bonibiao. And Jababy accident is Sipani Takradi Kepos Accra Road. I call it the devil's triangle. But is to be Yanti one accident, though there have been broken down vehicles, big trucks on the road, which call for the issue of the towing vehicles now. That is the typical minded Ghanaians. Madina. The Kalekun schoolboy be.
Yeah, the last one was a schoolboy.
Schoolboy is that Obiso Dami ye Wade Abani bro ye Yambo. And look at the money that has been spent in the construction of these three footbridges. You see, the typical Ghanaian. Government could have used that money to have done a lot of the Madina routes, Ashale Boche, Quantana, Madina routes. But they were crying wolf. That is what those people living there are now telling us. Pavement is part of the market. I have lived in Madina for so many years. I know how the place is. And when you go inside Madina, there are a lot of places that need good roads. Now, what did the Messi see? The footbridge. No, we are 1-4. You see, there is the need to orientate perception about life in Ghana here. And NGOs in the I don't know what people are doing, Sometimes I will even ask the road engineer there, what is the architecture for our roads? On my debut, here roads, accident, no see. What do we have to do? One feasibility, one designs, or carbon. I don't believe it is true because they are not engaging Ghanaians. When they engage Ghanaians will appeal to the ruling government. The man here, the technocracy, what are be, and experts, what are be. Aban inje yeyi kakra. To them a year of roti.
Yeah.
1 year. Nzamipo ma appeal to the minister for roads. He should flag down new contracts. No one complete
the old ones.
The old ones.
Because in we also want become.
Jem roads. In that portal or jump cars, jump. Now be pedo avoid noise. I bet people when you accident. Until yes, sir, Minister for Roads there. Since as we are speaking in, the best thing to complete the first term of your year of roads, because year of roads in about 2019, 2020. Until I will complete. Now you have bonse mamo. Now then you continue with the second phase.
Okay.
About boy.
But all pile up,
look at Get Farm. Go to secondary schools in this country. You can get about 5,000 structures. It's been made in 19 years. It's been made in 15 years. One van Zangai. Okay. But then we are awarding new contracts. It is better for Get Farm to stop awarding new contracts for this year and next year.
All right.
And complete the old buildings. It will help the secondary schools.
Okay, so two quick ones. I'll send you quite topics for discussion. So, dear baby Michael. Chief Biden says, good morning, Comrade. Greetings to my organizer, Anthony, and Chairman Ni Ofite Osa, a.k.a. Ablo Fumanche. The challenges we are facing in Kasoa calls for leadership in the municipality. There's a lot going on there that is more serious than what we are discussing today. The local government minister must really activate what local governance means and bring on board regional ministers, MMDCs, and the police to agree on a roadmap for Ghana to work again. Kudos to your team, Chief Baini and Adewe Diaba. And this is from one lecturer at Takoradi Technical University. How did Alote manage to get to your studio? I thought he is still hiding in an unknown place, and he wishes you happy Easter.
The invisibility is always visible.
The invisibility
is always visible.
Is always visible.
Visible.
Dear
Yehu.
Chairman.
Dear Yehu. There's nothing that is invisible. Except God, except Christ.
So the
apart
from Christ.
Yes, apart from Christ.
The essence said the yeah. But what is it about minority needs reshuffle in terms of leadership?
It's an unnecessary call.
It's an unnecessary call.
Unnecessary lamentation.
Professor Jampo Krabekebu.
Oh, no, why MP that?
No, Tomas.
No, I'll be sent there.
Professor Ransford Jampo says the leadership of the minority in parliament needs a complete makeover. According to him, the essence of a young parliament as desired, a hung parliament as desired by Ghanaians will be lost if the NDC does not change its leadership in the House. Wow. The call comes on the back of the uproar in the opposition party following the approval of some ministerial nominees. A member of the appointment committee goes on, I want to quote him. It's about the backfiring of the... Okay, what's going on in the NDC now isn't about power struggle. It's about the backfiring of the perpetuation of unwise politics of convenience. That satisfies the selfish needs of the party.
Verb now.
You don't agree to that
without any meaning.
Backfiring
of perpetuating unwise politics. What is that?
Something.
Nothing.
Master,
Sure. adina ye binum ya twen anu ne ya dwen e kan bebre ye di bibi hye nkrofo bi adwum ne enjai ma hye bedwa honum it's not a child's play. You can disagree with certain styles be any nyame bi, but to frame a perception to become reality, it won't wash.
No,
it will not wash.
Now the claim is that leadership having to do
on why
they've compromised.
Compromise on what?
They've disappointed your people.
Disappointment on people. Ground say, what dream say, upewi. Obiso dream say upewi. At the end of the day, what is the majority decision? That is the rule.
But the party had a position. If you go by what the communications
the
officer
and
the general
NDC never took any position.
They expressed disappointment.
You can express your disappointment, but your disappointment lies in you. It is not the entirety of the party that has taken that stand.
But that of the communications officer and the general secretary does not say they are normal people in the party.
Sure. How this parliament came. And Mimi Kebibi say, the verdict of the Ghanaian people, Bibi say, at a point, Krampo disagree with your founder, your late founder, because we're seeing him say he was more aligned
to the MPP.
The MPP. Oh, we and Mimi TBB, as he said, Rawlings came in to form a government. Now, even being said, you feel say there is a certain extremism in our political culture. So, MPP Nikron, Unia, and our downfall. We live in that from 92 to 2000, Kufuor Baye. It became wider. You see the rivalry between Kufuor and the NDC and the Rawlings administration, tag of war. So, some of us took positions, say, we NDC, you must stand the way MPP. But 2009, Professor Amos Baye, said, let's brace up. It be Munina and Yadrin, but it brought the political tension down till 2016. You feel power. 2017, President Akufo-Addo and his people initiate that move again. But gradually, even though it's not the best today, but Rawlings became like a bridge for you to walk from NDC to MPP, MPP to NDC. And then we went to an election. The Ghanaians gave us split parliament. What is nice, say, and then the biggest happened. An NDC member is the third person in this country. In as much as you will not trust, but on no. So there is a way I say, say, gradually, we need to have a certain cordiality in our governance. Taking a trend position said, whatever senior nominee should be rejected. At the end of the day, who benefits and who suffer? Say, any ministers, Ghana, even your ministers, Nyamanko. Yeah. It means the message NDC Nibia. Say, the way not a bimu dream, and then be a Casabia, yes, you can't, and the Shem Ukraine say, oh, the way a parliament in here, Akufo-Addo be bread. See, man who say, and Akufo-Addo never bread. Whatever entrenched stance we take, the Ghanaian populace. Now, my Ghana for bread now, 2024, can you go and tell them to vote for you?
Because you contributed to that.
The fact that you're approving ministers, and say, you will jack government, there are serious policies that are going to come before the House, where MPs will scrutinize and make sure that the best is given to Ghana. And yet, over the years, because of 169 majority, they can throw it to the face of the minority. You can have your say, we'll have our way.
But you have this understanding.
So it's as party leaders to reach out to the masses that we have, to get them well informed on why things are done certain way and why in certain format. Man in fee young leaders, to throw it out there on populism, to get the grassroots agitated on something that maybe they don't have understanding for. Mestre, I've always made this appeal. People have called me names. But you see, it will take you certain months to understand some of these things. And then who agitated the grassroots against certain people? Or Chinawe nya answer mawa. Ubedi udokunukwa.
If you agitate
the youth or the grassroots against certain people, share obi tise bargain. I'm not called parliament, now me was GSS 3. Maybe me credit 2 years. Even more 5 years. What in a parliament, my name is me. A political activist. I be a minute na edin komo. Adom. It will be a suicidal mission for me to be questioning the integrity of that man who has lived it and seen it.
What's not him fear now? Because you've communicated very well. What's not him fear?
Maintain him fear, but maybe.
Because
me or this year, but maintain him.
Okay, him forget to one on bit me kunipa. Na kroma na gusua. Ombe bose. Amani pano. But what do you still need? Bose man. What's not him fear?
That is so. Enti me wie no mesre obi biara dwobrɛ party mpanyifo say ye nyina yen kambo and I believe the parties on course the leadership of the minority in parliament are the best bet we have today to hold the government intact.
Chairman, it has nothing to do with Obiako parliament and as a continuous if you disagree, it is not a question of my good professor says it.
I think that it will be good his party people will listen to him. It will be good. It will be good. Now, Professor Jambo, I like him, young man. I know some of those who are talking more numbers.
There is open. Office open.
No, I half. No. Numbers in go.
No, who the way at it?
No, who the way at it. I had a Nigeria. Yeah, Ima. The NDC and then Nupenus party and then the other party or parliament because there's no party there, two parties.
Correct.
So I can qualify the opposition party as the other party.
Yeah.
The other party now or parliament. They are on a suicide mission. Look, already the ground is no good for them. There are those who are agitating, those fanatics, those insulting youth. The party, I get that what we born all manner of fish over a bonum. Maybe no who nazi who na ni adri not just money then we. That's precisely what they are doing. But you see, when you have leaders like Haruna, Haruna is self-made though. I quite remember 2002. Haruna, Ludwig, and others were forming the NDC youth. It was a very vibrant, powerful organization. And that's where I saw the organizational leadership of Haruna Idrisu. They are joking. Well, it's up to them. For me, they are
political
calling
advice.
Oh, I want advice NDC. NDC will have a photo. Look at the party.
From what you said, probably can chip in a word or two.
Me chip in Moja. What is good for them, they should do it.
No, you are thinking Ghana first. And we are there.
No, not Ghana first are in there, or maybe move.
Of course, but they're a key factor.
Today, President Nana Akufo-Addo has shown how politically experienced he is. Ni ministers in here, they say too. Those thousands of people, shut him down. Hey, come on. Don't approve of them. Including the man himself, who has been given the 2 horns of a devil. Honorable Finance Minister. Okay, 2 days. For vetting. It has never happened in our political history. He's gone. He's not the minister. Because one has who put your worker. See, who suffers, who's gain, like he said. See, when you are doing something, people should be circumspect. I mean, Mama Guy, Dr. Jampo, I wish you were there. Also go and contest, not for parliament. They do work and they won't change you. Enjoy is calling for a change. He is endorsing the change.
But you don't even understand baby of free bar. Also,
baby of free bar, baby of free bar. Baby, I know you will be free bar.
But any argument, you know. what is going on in the NDC now?
Brofu Jenjang. Who the adjectives need then adverbs to say then?
Mr. Jambo on
perpetuating unwise politics. Then
no one ranking member for politics. Now, Odu Tama will go to him on the zone could be made. But he hasn't got that political experience. Honestly, he's an observer, an outsider. They be all dissect issues on our political.
He's just arena. Expressing political science theory.
Amgo Kabowin was the first time I saw him. A very young man. I say, hey, now I'm a professor.
He's 38 years.
And so I'm sharing books in more parliament. New books in over more parliament.
Expression of political science theory. It's not a practice in parliament.
Okay, so because Professor Jampo is more kind of we couldn't help.
Is it about the professorship he holds or
no
about the actual
about the political landscape?
No, you are so enthused with his professorship.
We're mixing it up. The fact is that we're mixing it up.
Chairman, Chairman, wrap up with this one. What's happening? Doomsday and I said disco light and I said VRA and Gridco now. Gridco is now being pushed to.
I don't understand why Asamoah Boabi and then Boabi Asamoah.
A special kind of.
Yeah, should come as a communication director for a ruling party. Then you come out and say there also Mahama Nidumso and also Nana Akufo-Addo.
No,
he didn't do well at all.
He said that.
Yes, in his president, he didn't do well. Yeah, Moaba no Yedumso. Or your overhauling of our system network, especially with the transmission lines. Every time we talk about it there, transmission lines, we've done that here, but until it came to a point that President Kufuor Oyi Grikofi vacuum.
VRA and now vacuum.
VRA, so sorry. VRA. Now, here, transmission network. We are paying less for electricity. But we are the same very Ghanaians with Kaimos. And then there are government agencies those who do not pay for power consumption. Until normal, many squadron leader can so we are profit. You get your profit. Look, government agencies and departments, including your Kasoa, are your electricity. And so what we need to do is to install meters.
Prepaid.
Oh, government.
But you couldn't achieve that.
They started.
We started.
It was about 10%.
We started.
Yeah.
You're starting me in Yesika.
Yeah.
My finance minister, Dr. Dufo, to choose come on ECG. But one, all successive governments want rural electrification. You should bear in mind the rural electrification, electricity all going on. All these people, they are not metered.
Political meter.
Oh, only the maker there, wheelbarrow, political meters, water. Those days, 50 cities.
Ghana for you now.
Yeah. And then we are the very same people who will blame government. As for the previous government, we had problem with power generation. But
you mind say time and just explain Doomso na omo achede shrunko. Doomso, what does it mean?
No, Doomso in there.
Prepare.
No.
So in this case, you know, Boabian Samoa right. So what no different
disco.
from
No. What I'm saying now is
and a disco.
The disco.
What I'm now saying is that the Greco company is now working on its system network.
Okay, so the other aspect of it is that
But they're not communicating that.
They are utility companies. One PROs in their offices, no workers. They should go down and talk to them.
All right, but the other aspect of it is that Ghana functioning from now up to July, will 2 days be, 1 day be, 3 days be there. Clearly, it's work being done. For future, but we should expect that from now to July. Your 5 days, 4 days, 2 days, 3 days. So brace up. The technical people are now speaking, not the politicians. That is what we should do.
Clear line communication would put everybody at ease.
So that's what I'm saying.
Everybody will form.
You see what